What's your prediction for the fight?
Ever wondered who lays down the rules in the world of professional boxing? Who decides the champions and the ranks? Well, it's not just a single entity or person. It's a collective, a group of organizations known as sanctioning bodies. These bodies are the backbone of the sport, managing and overseeing every jab and uppercut thrown in the ring. They ensure fair play, maintain integrity, and uphold the spirit of the sport. Today we delve into the world of sanctioning bodies, the unsung heroes of professional boxing. The story of sanctioning bodies started in the early 20th century. The pugilistic world felt the need for a governing body to regulate and standardize boxing matches, and so the first sanctioning body was born. In 1921, the National Boxing Association, or NBA, was established in the United States. The NBA's primary role was to oversee boxing matches, ensuring they adhered to a set of standard rules and practices. The NBA started out as a national organization, but its influence quickly expanded. Throughout the 1920s and 1930s, the NBA sanctioned numerous high-profile fights, and its rules became the gold standard for boxing matches worldwide. The organization's reputation grew, and so did its ambitions. The NBA began to realize that its reach was not just national, but global. And so, in 1962, the NBA underwent a significant transformation. It rebranded itself as the World Boxing Association, or WBA, reflecting its international influence. The WBA continued the work of the NBA, sanctioning fights and setting the standards for boxing, but now on a global scale. But the WBA was not alone for long. In 1963, a new player entered the ring. The World Boxing Council, or WBC, was formed. The WBC was established by 11 countries, including the United States, United Kingdom, France, Mexico, and others. Its formation was a response to the need for a more globalized governing body, one that could truly represent boxing on the world stage. The WBC quickly became another major player in the world of boxing, sanctioning high-profile fights and setting its own standards and rules. It also introduced new weight divisions and championship categories, adding more complexity and variety to the sport. Thus, the WBA and WBC became the first two major sanctioning bodies in boxing, setting the stage for others to follow. Their formation marked a major shift in the boxing world, bringing a new level of organization, regulation, and global recognition to the sport. And as we'll see, their influence continues to be felt today. The 80s saw the birth of two more major sanctioning bodies. The decade was an exciting time for boxing, a period of growth and expansion that saw the creation of two significant organizations: the International Boxing Federation, or IBF, in 1983, and the World Boxing Organization, known as the WBO, in 1988. The IBF began as a response to the dissatisfaction with the existing sanctioning bodies. A group of individuals, passionate about the sport, came together to establish an organization that would prioritize the interests of the boxers. Their mission was to be more than just a name on a belt. They wanted to shape the sport in a way that was fair and just for the athletes. The IBF made its mark by being the first organization to sanction a title fight in China, opening the door for the sport in a new market. Fast forward to 1988, and the World Boxing Organization was born. The WBO was the brainchild of a group of Puerto Rican and Dominican businessmen who wanted to create a more democratic organization, one that would give a voice to regions often overlooked by the other bodies. They were determined to bring boxing to the world stage, and their influence extended to Europe, Asia, and beyond. The WBO has been known for its commitment to the development of boxing, often sanctioning fights in countries where the sport was still growing. And thus, the Big Four were complete. Each organization brought something unique to the table, yet they all shared a common goal: to promote and elevate the sport of boxing. The World Boxing Association, the World Boxing Council, the International Boxing Federation, and the World Boxing Organization became the pillars of the boxing world, shaping the sport and its athletes in profound and lasting ways. These four bodies, WBA, WBC, IBF, and WBO, are recognized as the Big Four of boxing sanctioning bodies. Fast forward to today, these bodies still hold significant power in shaping the boxing landscape. They are the invisible hands moving the pieces on the chessboard of the boxing world. Their role has extended beyond just sanctioning fights. They've become the governing entities that rank boxers, establish rules, and award titles. Ranking boxers is an intricate process. It's not just about who's won the most fights, but how they've won them, who they've fought against, and even where they fought. It's a comprehensive evaluation that requires a keen eye for talent and a deep understanding of the sport. Establishing rules is another critical function. They ensure the sport remains fair, competitive, and above all, safe. From weighing boxers and inspecting gloves, to setting the length of rounds and determining what constitutes a foul, these bodies are the standard bearers of the sport's integrity. Awarding titles, however, is perhaps the most glamorous part of their job. It's the glittering belt, the raised hand, the roar of the crowd, but it's also a responsibility. A title represents the pinnacle of achievement in the sport, and these bodies hold the power to bestow that honor. Sanctioning fights is where it all comes together. It's the culmination of ranking, rule setting, and title awarding. It's the moment when the work behind the scenes comes to the forefront. The Big Four continue to guide the path of professional boxing, weaving the narrative of champions and challengers alike. So, what have we learned about the sanctioning bodies in boxing? In our journey through time, we've seen the formation and evolution of the Big Four. The WBA, the oldest of the quartet, established the precedent for boxing organizations, fostering fairness and integrity in the sport. The WBC, on the other hand, introduced innovative safety measures, forever changing the face of boxing. The IBF, while younger, has been instrumental in bridging gaps across continents, promoting boxing on a truly global scale. And let's not forget the WBO, which, despite its late arrival, has made significant contributions to the sport, particularly in promoting younger talents. These sanctioning bodies are the unsung heroes of boxing, tirelessly working behind the scenes to ensure fairness, safety, and worldwide reach. Next time you watch a boxing match, remember the sanctioning bodies that work behind the scenes to make each fight possible.
What's your prediction for the fight?